Okay, Class 10, Gujarat Board, Chapter 17, Economic Problems and Challenges, Poverty and Unemployment. What does this chapter say? There are some economic problems in India like poverty, unemployment, price rise, and population increase. There is a lot of increase in population. So these are the problems that India faces. Uh, in this chapter, we have a focus on poverty and unemployment. Poverty is people living below poverty line, which is standardized and is uh, fixed by both the government of India and World Health Organization. And here we have to know why there is poverty in India. What are the reasons? Who is considered to be poor, and what is the poverty line? And what should be done to remove poverty or to uh, eradicate poverty from India? And what are the measures that the government is taking to do this? For the second problem, unemployment. What is unemployment, and what are the measures taken to curb unemployment? Okay, what are the economic and social problems of India? It's given here. Problems like population growth, price rise, black money, poverty, unemployment, starvation. These are all the economic problems that we have. Poverty, unemployment, price rise, population increase are the major problems. Out of this, we'll be studying poverty and unemployment. What is, let us say, comprehensive poverty? A large number of people are deprived of satisfying their basic and essential requirements of the life, such as food, clothes, shelter, education, health services. Such a situation is known as comprehensive poverty, and those people living under that situation are called poor. What is BPL? BPL is people living below poverty line. Below poverty line is BPL, and certain measures are fixed, certain standards are fixed to say who is below poverty line. Okay, what are the common features of people living below poverty line? Let us see. People who do not get more than 2 meals a day. People suffer from they don't have a dwelling, a house to stay. They are forced to stay in slum areas. Their income is less than the determined expected income, meaning the income that is fixed for people to live, and their lifespan is less according to the national average life expectancy. Generally, they are illiterate. They suffer from various diseases due to lack of nutritious food. Children start working very early in the age, and they normally don't study, and their death rate is also quite high. Okay, now what is a poverty line? And what are the factors that are used for evaluating the poverty line? The concept of poverty was first propounded by director of WHO, that is World Health Organization. For calculating poverty line, certain factors are considered, which include expenditure on food, clothing, accommodation, education, health, clean drinking water, electricity, sanitation facility, transportation facility, and income as well as taken the intake of calories in the food. So these are the measures taken by, these are the factors which are included. Now, how is poverty measured? How do we say that now they are people are poor? There are two ways: on the basis of expenditure behind certain things for basically for living by a family, and on the basis of the total income of the family. That means all the people in the family, what is their total income? Uh, what is absolute poverty? Those people are not able to purchase the basic necessity of life, like food, grains, pulses, milk, vegetables, at lowest market rate are said to be absolutely poor. And who are relatively poor? Relatively poor is uh, some people have lower income than other people. Like in America, the poor people, the poor uh, are actually judged by a very high income, while in India, those people who are less than a certain amount are relatively poor. So that is given here. As the income of A is less than B, and A is considered to be poor, like A has 10,000, B has 20,000, C has 30,000. So A is poorer than B and C. So that is the, according to the survey in 2011 and 12, normally every 10 years such a survey is done. We see on the basis of new criteria, number of poor has been reduced to 27 crores in 2011 and 12. And the rate of poverty has reduced to 21.9% of the total population. So that is the number of people who are poor as per 2011 and 12. We don't have the data for the latest data. Which are the states which are considered richest and poorest in India? So we know Chhattisgarh is the poorest state in India, and Goa has the lowest poverty rate, just 5.09. In Gujarat, the proportion of poverty is 16.63. So we can say that Goa is the richest or the least poor, and Chhattisgarh is the highest or the poorest state in India. Okay, this is important. The poor live in wealthy India. What does this mean? How is India wealthy? It is wealthy because it has uh, many natural resources, wildlife, and there are a lot of resources in India. That is why it is wealthy. But the people are poor. They do not have sufficient income to, and so they are called poor. So the poor people live in a wealthy India. That is what is said. Okay, rural poor. They're basically landless laborers, people who labor who don't have land by themselves, farm laborers, artisans of cottage industries, small industries, people who are doing very small industries, marginal farmers who have very, very small amount of land, beggars, uh, or say tribal people, inhabitants of forest and mountain region. They are all rural poor. And for urban poor, uh, those who have very less daily wages, like temporary laborers, domestic workers, rickshawalas, people who are working in tea stalls and hotels, in garages, in dhabas, and beggars basically. So these are the people who are poor in urban areas. Okay, why people in villages are uh, more poor, sort of deep rooted in villages, rural areas compared to cities. First thing is that the agriculture sector does not give them much money or income is less. They don't have that many alternatives for employment like cities do. Lack of knowledge regarding uh, skills or training, other employments. There is an increase in debt also. People take money from landlords or money lenders and they can't pay back. Illiteracy is a major cause. Uh, we also have mm, basic necessities or infrastructure is also quite poor in rural areas. So these are the main reasons for why poverty is deep rooted in villages.